Welcome to Gemara Academy. In this class, we will learn from Masechta Shabbos the Gemara on Daf Gimel Amud Aleph and Daf Gimel Amud Beis. Let's begin with the general outline. In the Mishnah, we learned that in order for a person to be chayav for the malacha of hachnasa or the malacha of eitzah, it's necessary for him to do an akira and an anacha. The Gemara will discuss whether walking with an object amounts to an akira. So let's begin. Ba'imine Rav mi Rebbe. Rav asked Rebbe, if somebody placed on his fellow food and drink, we say food and drink because that's what's normal to be used on Shabbos, and then that person that was placed on him, he carried them outside. What's the din? And the question is, akiras gufay ka akiras chayfetz dami oiloi, is the akira of his body like the akira of the item, and therefore now he did an akira, and then when he stopped walking, he did an anacha on the other rishus, and he's chayiv. Ideal more maybe like it's not considered an akira of the item. The akira of the body does not affect that it becomes an akira of the item, so no akira was done. And no hanacha was done either, because the hanacha of the body is not like the hanacha of the item either. And so therefore there's no malacha, there's no chiyuv. Rebbe answered him, he is chayiv. And he explained, he addressed the question, which is, if akira is gufay, akira is chayvez dami, if the akira of the body is like the akira of the item, so why is it, let's take the case where the ani is pater, when he extended his hand inward, and the balabayas put something into it, and the ani took it out and put it down, why is the ani pater? When the balabayas put the item into the hand of the ani, and the ani moved it out, there's akiras gufay, akiras chayvez dami, and then he also has the anacha. So Rebbe explained, the einay daim al yadeh, it's not similar to his hand. My time, what's the reason? Gufay nayach, yadeh loy nayach. His body is at rest, his hand is not at rest. So it explains over here that a person's body is at rest in the rishus that it's in. So when a person's standing in a rishus and his hands are with him in that rishus, then everything's at rest, including his hands. However, when a person is in one rishus and his hand is in another rishus, like the case that we just mentioned in our Mishnah, then the hand is not at rest. It's not at rest in the rishus that he's in because it's in the other rishus, and it's not at rest in that rishus since it's in a different rishus than the body. And that's basically the entirety of the Gemara. We had a question, we explained the two sides of the question, we gave an answer, and we addressed the possible question one could ask from our Mishnah. Then in continuation to this, there was a comment that was made to Rav who asked this question. Rav Chia said to Rav, he said, Bar Pischi, son of the great people, did I not tell you that you shouldn't ask Rebbe a question when he's in one Masechta? You should not ask him in another Masechta? Because if Rebbe wasn't great, you'd cause him embarrassment because he would answer you the wrong answer. And apparently Rav asked this question of Rebbe when Rebbe wasn't involved in that Sugya. And then he finished off and said, in this instance, however, it was fine. He ended up answering you the correct answer. Like it says in a brisa that if a person was loaded with food and drink while it was still day before Shabbos, and then after Shabbos began, he walked outside. The brisa rules, he's chayiv, like we said, because akiras gufek, akiras chayfetz dami. And the brisa finishes off with the point that Rebbe said, the einay daim al yadeh, it's not similar to his hand, it's referring to the hand that's extended into another rishus. Because the body's at rest, like we said, but the hand isn't. So to summarize, Rav asked Rebbe, akiras gufay, akiras chayfetz dami oiloi, is the akira of one's body similar to the akira of the object or not? And Rebbe answered, it is, since a person's body is at rest, and when the person's body does an akira, it affects the item, that there's also an akira in the item, and then when the person does an anacha on his body, it also affects the item, that also the item had an anacha. And this only applies to the body, including the hands, when they're all in the same rishus. However, if the hand is in a different rishus, then that hand is not at rest. Since it's separate from the body, it's not anymore in a state of being at rest.